I'm a huge tech nerd, and because of that, I used to buy tech that allowed me to customize things for the hell of it. But as I got older, I realized that I valued products that were simple, products that were designed well and worked elegantly together. So let me tell you why. Within 1 year, I completely jumped ships and bought an iPhone, an iPad, a MacBook, an Apple Watch, and just to top it off, some AirPods as well. Hey guys, if you're new here, my name's Sanji. I'm a second year medical student studying at the University of Melbourne. And in this video, I'm going to take you through 10 reasons why I think that it's worthwhile to invest into the Apple ecosystem. And the first, and probably one of the greatest reasons for now, is AirDrop. So last year, I went on a trip with my mates, and back then I still had a Samsung phone. So I noticed that all my friends with iPhones could really easily share their photos and their videos from the trip. Whereas if I wanted the photos, I could either get really bad quality photos from Messenger, or we could make a shared Google Drive, which is just a lot of effort to go through. And to me, that was just really annoying. There were just so many hoops just to get the photos from my friends' phones to my own. So even if my friends had Android phones, there's really no equivalent to share those images quickly and in full quality. So personally, I think that the ability to just be able to select the files that I want to send and simply send them to another device is just worth it. And the thing about AirDrop is that it sends the files really quickly as well, which is a major advantage when you compare it to the really slow Bluetooth file sharing that Android and Windows have. And so the second reason is Universal Clipboard. Now this is something that's really simple, but it saves me so much time. So as a student, sometimes I type up my lecture notes, sometimes I handwrite things and annotate my lecture slides on my iPad. And so I'm pretty sure that we've all come across the really annoying lecturer who hasn't shared their slides before the actual lecture. So if I'm in a live lecture and I want to annotate these slides, which I don't have, it's really simple for me to take a screenshot on my Mac and then press paste on my iPad, and the photo is automatically there for me to annotate. This feature is so simple, but it works so well. And at the same time, I'm just so annoyed that other devices haven't found a way to do this, because it's such a massive quality of life upgrade to be able to just copy something on my iPhone and paste it on my Mac, or vice versa. The ecosystem of devices that Apple has just works together so well, which makes my life more convenient. And I'm happy to invest into that, because ultimately, we trade our time for money, which is what working is, right? So if I can save my own time by spending a bit of money, I think that it's worthwhile to invest into the right technology. And so the next reason is just being able to answer text from other devices. So I remember I was sitting in a class in my first year of uni, and my friend was using her MacBook to reply to texts. Now, I was really jealous because I had an Android phone, so I couldn't do that. So instead, I just had to listen to the lecturer go on and on. And so 4 years later, after I finally got an iPhone, I realized how much nicer it is to actually be able to reply to text on your laptop. It's so much easier to write quick responses without picking up your phone. And once again, it's just another quality of life improvement that I think is just completely worth it. Also, Apple's definitely improved their game, because I used to only be able to reply to my friends with blue bubbles on iMessage, but now I can respond to my friends with green bubbles and Android phones on my laptop as well, which is nice. And so the next advantage is handoff. So continuity is Apple's term for describing how anything that you're doing on one device is automatically available on the next device that you're using. So for example, if I'm reading an article on Chrome and I want to keep reading that in bed, all I have to do is pick up my iPhone, swipe up into multitasking, and the tab is there for me, and all I have to do is click it and I can continue reading that article. It just works seamlessly and I don't have to think about it. I really value when technology just makes your life better in little ways that you don't even have to think about. So the next reason is Instant Hotspot. I have to use Hotspot all the time when I'm out. And when I was on my old Samsung phone, I would have to manually turn the hotspot on from my phone and then connect to that Wi-Fi network on my laptop. And if it was the first time that I was connecting, I would have to type in the password as well. And you can get used to that. But when I'm on my Mac, all I have to do is click the Wi-Fi button and then click hotspot, and my iPhone automatically goes into hotspot mode. I don't need to take my phone out of my pocket, and it's just another quality of life improvement, which means that I can get straight into my work when I need it. So the next reason is just being able to take phone calls from other devices that you own. If you have multiple Apple devices and an iPhone, you can actually use most of these devices to pick up phone calls that come to your phone. That means that I can literally use my Mac, my iPad, or my Apple Watch to pick up the call. Now, there aren't many situations where you'd actually want to use a smartwatch to pick up a phone call unless you want it to be a spy kid, but I appreciate the fact that it's there. More often, I find myself lying in bed or on the couch with my iPad or my Mac, And when I get a call from my mum, it's really easy to just be able to click answer on that device rather than getting up and running for my phone, which I used to do. And so the next reason is Sidecar. Now, I reckon the name of this feature is a bit troll, but it's Apple's way of saying that you can use your iPad as a secondary display to your laptop. Personally, I am someone who loves having an external monitor. I love the extra screen real estate it gives because it means that I can fit more things on my screen, and that means that I can multitask better. Being able to have your lecture on one screen and OneNote or Word or whatever you use on the other means that you can clearly set out your notes, and you're not going to miss things because you don't have your lecture and your OneNote on one tiny laptop screen. I don't really use Sidecar at home because I have the external monitor. But when I'm out at a coffee shop or a library, Sidecar is really great because, surprisingly, even though it's wireless, it barely has any lag and it works really well. And the next reason is privacy. And this is something that we don't really think or talk about a lot, but it's really important. So when we use Android phones and Google services, Google actually tracks a lot of our data. So Google tracks things like where we go, our browsing history, and other things like that as well. And the reason Google does that is because it's primarily a data company. Google makes money by selling ads to us, and collecting this data allows Google to tailor their ads, which makes us more likely to buy stuff. So for example, if we've been spending a lot of time in the gym, we'll be getting ads for gym apparel and things like that. So what I found about Apple is that they have a much stronger stance on privacy. And these are some of the ways that they actually do this. So for example, facial recognition for photos is actually done on your device, whereas Google actually sends them to their servers to analyze your face. And so another way is app tracking. So every time that you open a new app on an iOS device, Apple gives you the choice to allow that app to track you or not. And this actually stops those apps from tracking you across other apps, as well as taking in some of that sensitive information. And another cool thing that I've realized is that there's always an indicator that pops up whenever your camera and microphone are being used on whatever Apple device that you're using. Personally, I think that's really important for privacy, but I also think that Android's done that in their latest update, which is really good to see as well. And another way is mail privacy protection. So whenever you sign up for an app or a service using your Apple ID, Apple asks you whether you want to give your real email to them, or Apple can also send a fake email to them instead, which protects your privacy. And personally, I think that's just nice to have. And number 9 is simply design. Apple products are designed well and they work well. I've kind of reached a point in my life where I'm happy to trade customization and a bit of tinkering in order to get a device that just works well consistently. When you buy an Apple product, you know that you're going to get a great device which has a good screen, great battery life, and good performance. And personally, I just value those essentials more than the small gimmicks that Windows laptops and other Android phones are offering right now. And that's why I was willing to spend so much money this year to invest into a proper Apple ecosystem. Okay, and my last reason is universal control. Now, this is a feature that's not out yet, but I know that it's going to be a complete game changer when it comes out. Being able to use a single mouse and keyboard across different devices just completely blows my mind. So personally, I really value the fact that my iPad is a thin and light device, and because of that, I don't have a keyboard case on it. And that's why I'm so keen to just be able to use my Magic Keyboard and my mouse with my iPad or my laptop at the same time. Anyway, so these are just some of the little things about the Apple ecosystem that make my life better, and why I really wouldn't consider moving back to a Windows laptop or an Android phone anytime soon. If you guys have any other tips that you'd like to share about how Apple products work really well together, feel free to comment it down below. Thumbs if you enjoyed it, subs if you loved it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.